Recording. All right. So I guess the first thing to note is this training will specifically cover MAPD and MA only. The only difference between the two is one has drug coverage, one does not. That's it. There's no other differences. Um, if you remember in the last training we did last week, the plans without drug coverage are usually veteran plans. They're designed essentially only for veterans, and those are really the only people that could take advantage of these. And then they come with these really big monthly give backs, which we're going to learn about give backs today a little bit, how they work, because they are pretty common, and almost all seniors ask for it because it's advertised 24/7. That and food cards is all over social media ads and commercials, and you can get this money, you can get 2,500 a year, you can get this, you can get that. So it's getting really common with Medicare Advantage plans that if you can't get them to give back, a lot of times they just won't even work with you. But with these new turning 65 people, I don't really foresee that being an issue, given that they've not been on Medicare yet. But I still want you to learn about these give backs because they are a good selling tool. But we're just going to look at MAPD plans, how to compare them and whatnot, how to look at the benefits quick. We're also going to learn about what non-commissionable means and what to do with those plans, which is essentially nothing. You just do not sell these at all. There's no point in even doing an application for a non-commissionable plan. You will not get paid for it. The carrier has determined these plans to be non-commissionable, not me, not us, not our upline. That is Humana and Aetna that have determined these plans to be non-commissionable, which just means you will not get paid for putting someone in it. We're going to talk a little bit about non-commissionable plans and why they're doing non-commissionable plans here shortly, because some states have more non-commissionable plans than they have commissionable plans right now, especially North Carolina has a significant amount of non-commissionable plans. But first thing we're going to talk about are the different benefits that you can actually get with Medicare Advantage, ones that are realistic. These are really going to be primarily, of course, dental, vision, and hearing. A combination of those is going to be present on basically every plan that exists. Even if it doesn't have dental, usually it's going to have vision and hearing. And usually with dental, it almost always has preventative dental at least. Even if it doesn't have comprehensive dental, it's usually got at least preventative cleanings and x-rays at least. A lot of plans though, even really bad plans, have at least, $750 to $1,000 in comprehensive dental. And we're going to learn about Medicare dental, why it's a little bit different than regular standard dental plans. We'll just look into a plan here and we'll talk about dental a little bit. We'll go one benefit at a time. We'll just look at this WellCare plan. We're going to look through the summary of benefits for the WellCare Simple. So it's going to be the plan on the left. Let's go down to dental. So WellCare's summary of benefits are really ugly, and they make them way more complicated than they need to be. So for this dental plan here, there is no annual maximum. Well, it doesn't even cover most stuff. If you don't know what endodontics, periodontics, if you don't know what that is, you may want to do some Googling to figure these terms out. Prosthodontics is basically dentures. No, I don't know. It's been so long since I've had to do these terms. I don't ever sell WellCare. They're kind of They're not bad, but they're probably not going to stay with it very long. The first time they call customer service and have to talk to someone in Afghanistan that doesn't speak English, they're not gonna keep it. So um, I don't really work with WellCare too much, and there's no dental on that plan really. So we're gonna look at a different one and see if Humana's got dental on their plan, comprehensive dental. Let's see. Okay, this one does. So this is what a dental plan typically will look like with United, Humana, Aetna. They're laid out like this. Everything is really easy to read, and it just goes through the benefits one by one. It's extremely easy to read these. So this Medicare covered dental, this copay thing here, just ignore it. You want to go by these. Okay. So when it talks about the supplemental dental benefit and the copays, that's what you go off of. So for example, in network, and you got to really pay attention to this in network, because if their dentist is not in network, it will not pay. But you can see they get deep cleanings, they get comprehensive oral evaluations, they get maintenance for crowns and bridges. This is really maintenance right here. Resuscitation, that is maintenance. Root canals, x-rays, emergency exams, fillings, anesthesia, bridges, restorative, which would basically be um, the other fillings. These fillings up here that we talked about, maybe it's a different restorative service. I don't know. They don't make it too clear, honestly, sometimes in these summary benefits, what they mean by other restorative, whatever other restorative is. And then bridges, crowns, and crowns. So there's no denture benefit on this plan, which is unfortunate if we were trying to sell it. Of course, dentures is pretty important. And then there's a $3,000 yearly limit. So the good thing about Medicare dental is there's no waiting period. So if they start the plan January 1st and then on January 15th they want to go get dentures, they can. The plan will pay it. Um, Same thing with glasses. There's no waiting period. Same thing with hearing aids. There's no waiting period. So unlike regular traditional dental plans, these Medicare Advantage dental plans do not make them wait for anything. If it says it's covered day one. So if this had implants on it, some plans will cover implants. They could go get implants on literally the first day the plan starts, right? Same thing with dentures. They could start doing appointments to go get their dentures on the first day the plan starts. If it covered it. Obviously, this one does not cover dentures, but if it did, they'd be able to do it on the first day. And then, of course, it follows standard, you know, insurance terms as far as a coinsurance and a copay. So obviously, these are all free. These services here, the client would pay 70%, or no, I'm sorry, the plan pays 70% of these services, and then the plan pays 30 to 40% of these services, meaning the client would be out of pocket this percentage here. So if the service was $1,000, they would pay 30%. If the service was $5,000, they could pay up to 40% with this one. That's 30 to 40%. If they ask you, how do I know if it's going to be 30 or 40%? You won't know till you go to your dentist and they bill. There's no way for you to know that. There's no way for you to try to tell them that. If it's a range, it's a range. There's no way for you to know what the insurance is going to bill a percentage. They have tables, I'm sure, that determine this, but you cannot determine that. So don't even try to determine a coinsurance range for them if they ask. Just tell them, you can literally tell them, I have no idea. That's not information I have. Only the insurance company has that information of, you know, once you submit your billing. You can't call customer service and them tell you either. They don't know either. Only once they submit their claim for payment for the service are they going to know what percentage they're going to pay. Okay. But this is what a dental part of a summary of benefits looks like. It just tells you what's covered, nothing more, nothing less. Pretty simple. Uh, then we'll talk about hearing for a second. Hearing is not important to seniors like you would think it is. Unless they actually have a hearing problem, a lot of them just will not care about this. A lot of them do not go to their yearly hearing exams. A lot of them don't even really care about their hearing, as unfortunate as that is. They just don't. So don't be surprised if there's not too much interest in hearing benefits, but it doesn't really matter if they're interested in it or not. It's still going to be on the plan. So this is something you have to mention when you present. And we're going to learn about presenting next week, once we go over all the product, or maybe Thursday. Depends on how quick we get through the products, on how to actually present a plan. But you have to talk about this when you present. So basically, you would just say, you get one yearly exam, one yearly routine exam, fully covered per year. And the hearing aids are $399 or $699, depending on what level of hearing aid you want. Okay. Uh, the different levels of hearing aid basically is determined by their level of hearing loss. So a premium level hearing aid is better for someone with significant hearing loss, and an advanced level hearing aid would be good for someone with maybe medium level hearing loss. There's also something called a standard hearing aid, which is a entry level kind of hearing aid. This plan doesn't cover them. A lot of plans do though, but Humana stopped covering standard level hearing aids. You can only get advanced or premium with them now, but it's okay. This is a better hearing aid than standard, so they're actually getting a better deal because the standard hearing aid used to be this price. So good job, Humana. But when they buy their hearing aid, they also get all of this. And if they actually care about hearing aids, if they tell you, yeah, I need a hearing aid, you should talk about this right here. What comes with the purchase? This is a lot of good stuff. They get a 3-year warranty, a 60-day trial period where they can return it, get their money back. They get unlimited free visits during the first year to follow up. They get 80 batteries for non-rechargeable models, and rechargeable ones are available for an extra $50 if they want to be able to recharge. So this is the hearing coverage on this plan. If they don't care about hearing aids, though, don't read this. You don't have to read this right here. Only thing you have to read is this. That's all. You don't even have to read this. Just this part right here. Okay. If they need an exam more than this one, then they'll pay this. So after the first exam per year, this is what they pay. $35. That's what they pay. Okay. Same thing with vision. So if we go down to vision right here, this is really similar. They get one yearly, exam per year for free. And then after that, they pay $35. Okay. You also cannot say the word free. Absolutely do not say free. Okay. That is an automatic compliance fail to the carrier. You cannot say free. You cannot say best. Okay. Keep that in mind. If you say the word free or best, if they file a complaint on you, even if it's for something completely different, they'll still fail you for saying that. Okay. So do not say best and do not say free. Doesn't matter if it's free. $0. $0 is free. It's not technically free because the insurance company is paying for it. So it's free to them, but you still can't use that word. Okay. You just say no cost, right? Your one yearly routine eye exam is no cost. You pay nothing. Okay. $0, but you can't say it's free. Okay. You also can't say this is the best plan. Okay. You have to say this is the richest plan, or this is the plan that has the most benefits. This is the most comprehensive coverage available to you, right? But you cannot say best. Okay. But back to the vision benefit. It's really straightforward. This is what they cover for glasses. Okay. Now, Humana, I believe, is the only company that does this where they have two different amounts. Okay. What this means is that some eye doctors with Humana are called a plus provider. Okay. If they go to a plus provider, then they get more coverage. If their eye doctor is not a plus provider, then they get this amount of coverage. Okay. If you may ask me, well, how do I know if they're a plus provider or not? Just tell the member to call member services and they can ask. Or if you really want to do it yourself, we can look at Humana really quick. And I'm going to show you. Because it is important that you know how to do this yourself. So we're just going to log into Humana real quick. All right, so here's my Humana carrier portal. For those of you that have contracted with Humana, then you should know what this looks like. We just click on this lookup right here. Actually, no need. Look, Vision plus provider search. And then we just put in the zip code. Bam, that's all you have to do. So if you look here, you can instantly tell the difference. Plus providers are pink, regular providers are green. Okay, so if they go to a eye doctor that's green, okay, or it's normal, they would get $100 according to the plan, right? They would get $100. If they go to a plus provider like Vision Source, 2020 Eye Care of London, or UK Eye Care in Manchester, then they would get $200. And if you notice, I'm just going to point this out. Sometimes it's going to have them on here twice. Like it says they're a normal and a plus provider. Just ignore that, okay? However, if you notice here, look at this. This is Huffman and Huffman at a different address, right? This is 100 Fortress property. This is 503 North Main Street. This is not a plus provider. So if they went to 503 North Main and they didn't go to 100 Fortress Property Street, then they would only get $100, right? Because some locations, or here it is, some locations have multiple offices, but not all of them are plus providers. So you got to make sure their office is a plus provider. There's all kinds of plus providers, right? Plenty of them. But that's how you look that up with Humana. This is for doctors and pharmacy, and then this is for vision right here. Okay, it's right here on your portal. So if we go back, that's pretty much all for vision. It's eye exam and glasses and contact lenses. There isn't anything else. If they ask you about their diabetic eye exam, it is covered. It's called a diabetic retinopathy exam. They do pay for that. That's going to be free on pretty much every plan, their diabetic eye exams. Okay. So those are the main three standard benefits on basically every plan. It's going to be dental, vision, and hearing. Okay. And they're always grouped together on the summary of benefits. It's always usually hearing, dental, vision in that order when you're reading a summary of benefits. So once you see hearing, dental, and vision are right below it. Always. Okay. On every summary I've read that I remember. The next thing is going to be transportation. Now that is not covered on all plans. We're gonna look at a plan that does have it so I can educate you a little bit on what it does. So if we look at this plan here, okay, well it says it covers transportation. Maybe it doesn't. Let's go through and look. Oh, what? There's literally no benefits on this. What in the world? Star rating? I don't care about it. Oh, they don't even have a summary of benefits. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I can't show you a transportation benefit on an actual plan because there isn't one in this area. Let's check a different area. Let's see if there's a transportation benefit I can show you here. Okay, I think there is. Yeah, here we go. Okay, So WellCare Assist has a transportation benefit. So let's talk about how this works, because this is something you can use as a selling point a lot of times. Um, so on this plan, it covers 12 one-way trips per year. So what does that mean? It means if they use it to go there and back, they only get 6 trips technically because it's one way. Okay, this is an important distinction, because if you just tell them you get 12 trips, it's going to sound like you get 12 two-way trips, right? But you have to tell them, or you should tell them at the minimum, that it's 12 one-way trips. Okay. You also notice it says up to. That just means they don't have to use all 12. So they could only use it 4 times a year. They could use it 6 times a year, 10 times a year. It doesn't mean it varies. It's 12 trips. That's what it covers. No more, no less. Um, but they're one-way trips. There's also mileage limitations. Okay. Um, it doesn't, as you notice, it doesn't actually say what the mileage limitations are. So when you would present this benefit, you'd basically just say, there's a transportation benefit. You get up to 12 one-way trips per year to plan approved locations, and there is no copay. They provide this benefit to you at no cost. There are certain mileage limitations. You have to call the plan to schedule your appointment, and they'll let you know what those are. So that's all you have to say for the transportation benefit. This is really important to some people. Will it be important to people turning 65? I doubt it. Will you guys also work with people that are not new to Medicare? Yes. So it's important you understand that when this benefit is offered, you should talk about it. You do not have to talk about this benefit. It is not required by the carriers to mention it, even if it's on the plan. You don't even have to bring it up. You also do not have to let them know when it's not covered. So if I was presenting the WellCare Simple plan, you would not have to tell them that it's not covered. You just wouldn't mention it at all. Okay. Uh, the next benefit that we're going to talk about, we've covered dental, vision, hearing, and transportation, is OTC, over the counter. This is a benefit on most plans, but not all of them. Not every plan has it. So WellCare, wow, they're actually giving a lot of spendables. Okay. Um, so WellCare has this benefit called the spendables card that you can use on a bunch of stuff like over the counter, dental, vision, and hearing. Um, it's a little bit more complicated with WellCare because they let you use it on different things. A lot of plans will only let you use it on over the counter. But let's say, like, for example, I was presenting the WellCare Simple plan. I would basically let them know, okay, you're going to get $71 a month that you can use on over the counter or towards dental, vision, and hearing out of pocket expenses. So it also gives you a good idea of things you can get. So they could get things like, over the counter prescriptions, vitamins, pain relievers, cold and allergy medications, diabetics, supplies. I can actually probably pull up Humana OTC catalog 2026 and show you um, some of the things that they can get. Will it show me? Humana used to have the catalog listed right here. That's a little annoying. I don't think they're showing it publicly anymore. Let's see if I can find a link to one. Okay, yes, here it is. I think. Yes. Okay. So this is for Florida. This is Care Plus, so this is Florida. But this still shows you like a good example of what you can get. So there's all kinds of digestive health stuff, uh, cough, cold, and allergy stuff, tons of different things here, eye drops, diabetic management. So like they can get compression socks, all of this stuff right here. They can get regular socks, so they can buy just regular socks on it. More diabetic management, dual purpose items. So these are vitamins, minerals, and supplements that are covered. You can see there's actually a lot of them that are covered. Melatonin, sleep stuff. I mean, there's vitamin B12s on here, vitamin C. I mean, there's a lot of different vitamins and supplements that they can get on here. First aid medical supplies. So there's all kinds of stuff on here, bandages and disinfectants, burn relief, emergency response, hot and cold therapies, kits, ointments, sanitizers. It's all on here. Fitness equipment, foam rollers, resistance bands, Fitbits. They can buy Fitbits with their over-the-counter benefit. Home medical supplies is on here. Hearing aid. There's hearing aids on this OTC catalog, right? Home tests, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can see here it's pretty extensive what you can get. These are incontinence supplies, so like adult diapers, bladder control pads, stuff like that. Then we have men's health, which are all just men specific things. They can get canes and stuff on here. Here's pain relievers, personal care. So they can get dental floss, denture care, ear care, eye care, foot care, oral care, um, flossers, toothbrushes, toothpaste, skin care. You guys get the point. There's something on here that everybody could use, right? No matter what, over the counter is always a really good thing to pitch because it's always useful. They're going to use it. They're already buying this kind of stuff every month. This just saves them some money. Now, not every plan covers over the counter the same, right? WellCare's catalog is going to be a little different. And if they ask you specifically, is this covered, is that covered, you got to kind of let them know, hey, whenever you are on your plan and you get your, your member card, call member services and they can go over the catalog with you. I actually don't have a copy of the catalog, right? Um, and then again, they can use it for out-of-pocket dental, vision, and hearing expenses. And then they also have a My WellCare Rewards, which just means like doing preventative care, going to the doctor, stuff like that. They can earn $100 a year. That goes on their spendables card that they can use on OTC or dental, vision, and hearing. But most plans don't give this much. That's a ton. $71 a month is a lot for over the counter and the dental, vision, and hearing. If we look at Humana, we could just look at this plan. Oh, I don't know if Humana is offering OTC this year on these plans. Oh, look how they are. So here's a more normal one. WellCare is just kind of not the normal. This is a normal one. This plan gives $50 a quarter. Most plans do quarterly allowances, not monthly. Okay, that's important because again, most plans are quarterly. So this gives you $200 a year. So technically, WellCare gives you more in 3 months than this plan gives you in a year. Okay, and this one is only usable for over the counter. That's it. No dental, no vision, no hearing. Only over the counter. Okay, it's important that you get used to these plans once you're looking at them and you have Sunfire and you can go through and check plans out that you really read them and get used to what carrier does what. Because this is how Humana does it on all their plans. That's how WellCare does it on their plans. Aetna, United, you just want to read through plans for the carriers and kind of figure out what each carrier is doing. Okay. But that's over the counter. It's really simple. It's a health benefit that a lot of plans offer. Then we have fitness. So we'll just go back into this plan again. Almost every plan will offer a fitness benefit. Some of them are silver sneakers, some of them are Renew Active, some of them are different other benefits, but silver sneakers is the most popular one. Humana uses silver sneakers. I believe Aetna uses silver sneakers as well. Yes, they do. United Healthcare uses silver sneakers, although they're not offered here, so I can't show you. WellCare, I don't remember who WellCare uses. Do they use Silver Sneakers? It doesn't even say. It just offers a fitness benefit. But most carriers use Silver Sneakers, which is this benefit here. If they ask you, okay, do I have gyms in my area? Just go to silversneakers.com, click on fitness locations, put their zip code in. You can see I have 6 locations in my area that work with Silver Sneakers. Planet Fitness did work with Silver Sneakers. They might have stopped or switched to a different provider, but Planet Fitness used to be on here. But either way, almost every area is going to have in-network locations. And if you don't want to look it up, just direct them, hey, you can go to silversneakers.com and look at gyms. You don't have to do it for them. Chiropractic care is not really a benefit. Just ignore that. Additional services, you can just ignore that. We'll look at Part B rebates. So all these plans have a give back. So what a give back is, and it's important you understand this because you may have to explain this to someone. So every month they pay a Part B premium, right? This plan pays a portion of their Part B premium for them. Okay. So that means that if I was on Medicare and I was paying $203 a month for my Medicare and I joined this plan, now I'm going to pay, 203 minus 75. I'm going to pay $128 a month. Okay. That means that my Social Security benefit gets $75 a month bigger than it is right now. So they actually do see an increase in their Social Security benefit of that amount. They do get that money. So when it says there's a give back in this amount, that's how much money they're going to get by being a member of this plan. It's a great benefit. It helps a lot of people on Social Security who struggle with their Part B premium and who want extra money. I'm struggling to make ends meet. Try to find them a give back plan. Okay, there's usually one offered in every area, at least one. You can see I actually have multiple people in my area on this particular plan, this Humana USAA plan. My grandma's on it. She's very happy with it. She gets the extra $75 a month, as well as other people I have on Humana are also all on this plan here. It's a good plan. Uh, it's a very, very solid plan. So yeah, there's not much that goes to it. This is how much money they get. That's it. If they get Medicaid, they will not get this. If they have Medicaid, they cannot get a give back because Medicaid already pays their Part B premium for them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If they tell you they have Medicaid and you look it up and they actually do have Medicaid, because sometimes they get confused on I have Medicare, I have Medicaid. No, you don't. You have Medicare only, right? You're going to have to look it up for them sometimes and educate them. I'll show you how to do it, how to do a Medicaid lookup really quick, just so you know. Uh, Almost every carrier has a way to do this. Um, I'm just going to look at Humana's lookup. Under quote and enroll, there's a button here that says eligibility verification and then DSMP eligibility. If you fill this out, it'll tell you if they have Medicaid or not for basically every state. Okay. I don't have a person's information to just put in here for you to actually show you, but it's simple. Get their name, their date of birth, their gender, their Medicare number, and their social. And it'll tell you if they have Medicaid. Okay. But again, if they have Medicaid, then they will not get this give back. They can still get the plan. If they enroll in the plan, they'll still get everything else, but they will not get the extra money. Okay. Because they're already getting it technically. We'll also we're not going to talk about food benefits today. when we go over special needs plans, which we're going to do tomorrow, we're going to learn about these food benefits, flex benefits that they have where they can get pay like their food and utilities and stuff with it. Because that's you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you don't understand who's eligible for those. Um, we're going to talk about those tomorrow. The last thing we're going to kind of talk about is how I compare plans really quickly. A lot of areas have way more plans than this, right? If we look at, for example, what's a good area? Let's just look at this. 64030. We're just going to look at this random zip code in Missouri. I don't know if there's a lot of plans here. We're just going to go with it. Well, there's definitely okay, yeah, there's way more than are in my area. So here we have Aetna, Devoted, HealthSpring, Humana, United WellCare. We offer every single one of these carriers. So, for example, Regina, you're in Missouri, you would have all of these. You'd be able to offer every plan available here. If you notice, a lot of them have give backs too. Look at this one, $164 a month give back. That's a ton of money. Then there's some other ones, 78, things like that. So we're not going to take into account doctors or medications, okay? Because if you remember when we learned about looking up doctors, we talked about how to look them up. That is going to be primarily what you use sometimes to pick a plan. Sometimes doctors are only going to take a couple plans and you just pick the best one. We're just going to ignore that for now, okay? If you have doctors in here and medications, it tells you right here if they're covered. Like right here on this on the card, it tells you if they're covered. You don't have to go search it up. It tells you right here. But besides doctors and medications, really what I do is look at all the plans that their doctors take. We're just going to pretend like their doctors take every plan in this example. I'm going to look at specialist copay. So I'm going to look at all the plans. I'm going to open every single one of them that are zero copay. So let's go up and filter by plan under 20. That's as much as I can filter it by. So I got rid of some of them. But we're going to open every plan. Then we're going to look at one carrier at a time. So, for example, Aetna. This plan's not too bad. I'd probably open this and just keep it open. Then we have Devoted Health. So these are the Devoted Health plans. This one looks pretty good. $25 specialist copay. I'm going to leave it open. If they wanted to give back though, if they told me like, hey, I want money, that's all I want, like I wouldn't even look at any other plans. I would just go straight for this one. $164 a month. You're not going to find more than that. I would just offer them this plan here. But we're going to pretend like they're calling about, I just want the best benefits. I want good, medical benefits, whatever. We'll look at HealthSpring. HealthSpring's okay. Probably not any of these. We'll look at Humana. Humana's okay. This plan right here looks really good. $15 specialist copay. We're gonna open that one up. And then United Healthcare. These plans look okay. WellCare. WellCare looks okay. At this point, Humana looks to be the best plan. Just eyeballing it due to copays. Honestly, you can almost always tell what the best plan is based on the specialist copay, because the lower the specialist copay, the better the rest of the plan usually is. I've looked at thousands of plans, literally thousands of plans, maybe even tens of thousands of plans. I don't know, at least many thousands of plans, and this is true like 95% of the time that a low specialist copay is usually reflective of the rest of the plan. It really is. In this example here, this Humana plan that I looked at, $15 specialist copay, the max out of pocket is extremely low. That's a very low max out of pocket in comparison to the rest of the plans. So this overall would probably be the plan I'd recommend unless they hated Humana. So once I pick this plan out and I know, okay, which one is cheapest medically, which is this one, it's got the lowest max out of pocket of any of the plans that are listed. It's got a low specialist copay. The hospital copay also looks pretty good. Where was the hospital copay? I just looked at it. It's right here. I would basically ask them at this point, okay, do you have any carriers you will not work with? Okay, if they're new to Medicare, don't ask this. But if they already have Medicare, you probably need to ask them, are there any insurance companies you just absolutely do not want to be with? Because some of them will tell you, yeah, I don't want Humana. I don't want United Healthcare. I don't want Cigna. I don't want WellCare. They've had bad experiences. They've had them before. They didn't like them. They don't want them again. Because if I don't ask them this and they don't want Humana, and I start presenting and I'm saying, okay, well, the plan I'm going to recommend to you is the Humana Go Plus HMO point of sale. They're going to stop me right there. I don't want Humana, and there's 50-50 that they're just going to hang up because they're going to think you work for Humana and that's all you have. Okay. You need to make it very clear to them that you offer, hey, I offer a lot of different carriers, this and that, that you have a good selection so that if they don't like the first thing you offer, they don't just hang up. Okay. But if I didn't ask them if they have a problem with a carrier and they don't want Humana and I go to pitch Humana, it's 50-50 that they hang up and they don't talk to you again. Because if somebody was offering me something and it was something I absolutely didn't want, would you sit and listen to the rest of it? No. You'd probably hang up or just say, some of them won't just flat hang up in your face. They'll just be like, oh, no, thank you, and they'll hang up. Okay. So it's really important to ask before you present a plan if there's anything they just absolutely will not work with, right? But if they say no, then I would have pitched this Humana plan. Okay. Now other people may have different opinions. That's the thing with when you have this many plans. One of you might have looked through the plans and pitched a different one, right? But I mean, really, you just want to pitch the cheapest one. Seriously, like just pitch them the best plan. There's no point in pitching them a certain carrier. You're not going to get paid more for pitching one carrier over the other. I mean, just whatever is best. And you can usually tell by looking at the specialist copay. Okay. Now, I guess, what if all the specialist copays are exactly the same? This never happens, but let's say you can't figure it out based on specialist copay. Look at medical max out of pocket. Okay, it's pretty indicative. Look at this, 6,000, 2,800, right? Look at the specialist copay. Which one's lower? It's this one. This one is lower in both, right? Like I said, it's indicative of the entire plan when it looks at those amounts. So if we go up a little bit, you'll notice specialist copay is higher, max out of pocket's higher, right? Specialist copay is lower than HealthSpring, max out of pocket is lower than HealthSpring, right? Specialist copay is higher, max out of pocket goes up. These things are linked together on literally every plan. The specialist copay goes down, so does the max. The max out of pocket goes up, so does the specialist copay, right? They're really, really indicative. This is an example of when it's not. So if you notice, these plans are the same specialist copay, but this one has a $3,400 network deductible, and this one has a $5,000 network deductible, right? But these are both Humana plans, okay? You know what the difference is? This give back. The plan with the higher max out of pocket, but the same specialist copay has a give back. That's the difference because they're going to get money by being on this plan, okay? Give back plans are usually worse medically. Then as we go up, it just stays true. Here's another Humana give back plan. Specialist copay and max are the same. I want you to notice something. You see this plan here, $78 a month, non-commissionable. And then you have the same plan down here, right? Specialist copay is exactly the same, right? max out of pocket, uh, deductible, drug deductible. This plan is identical to this one right here, right? But this one is non-commissionable, which means if you accidentally sell this one, you wouldn't get paid for it. But if you sell this one, you do get paid for it. Why is that? So the reason is because Humana is phasing out plans, right? So this is the new version of this. That means Humana is trying to get rid of this plan. In another year or two, they'll just stop offering it altogether. Okay? That's what that means. Typically, when a plan is non-commissionable, it means that Humana is phasing them out. Okay? So, in this instance, obviously, you would just sell them this one. I mean, it's literally the same plan, but you would get paid for it. Okay? Um, but yeah, I mean, as far as picking plans out, look at specialist copay and look at the medical max out of pocket, and that will guide you in the right direction 95, 90, maybe even 99% of the time. I mean, it will almost never fail you to just look at those two things. Okay. Uh, you may also ask, when do I sell a plan with a premium? The answer is probably never. Um, sometimes you'll get people that are just going to be like, look, I want the absolute best coverage available. Okay. Um, if they just say, I don't care what the copay is, I don't care, or not copay, I don't care what the premium is, I just want the best plan available. Sure, you can look at a plan with a premium, but pay attention here. This plan is $18 a month. Look at the medical max out of pocket. Look at the specialist copay. It's not any better than their $0 a month plan. It's weird, right? And that is going to be true a lot of the times, actually, that their paid plans are not going to be better than their free plans. Like this plan here for $0 a month is significantly better than this one for $18 a month. And I don't know why carriers do this. Actually, yes, I do. If you want to know why carriers do this, it's because there are people that are going to pay for the $18 a month plan instead of having the free one because they think they need to pay. There are literally people that are going to go get the most expensive plan because they think they have to pay something to have insurance. They don't believe in free insurance. It sounds crazy, but I promise you I've talked to people that think this and that will take a worse plan than the free one just because they don't believe it. And that's why carriers do it. I've seen people on a $98 a month plan that's worse than the free plan from the same insurance company and they won't switch it. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's true. 100% I've seen it time and time again. Sometimes though, I am able to be like, hey, look, what are you doing? Like there's a free plan from the same insurance, well, not free, you can't say free, but there's a $0 monthly plan from the exact same insurance company. Um, why don't we just switch it over? Right? It's an easy fix. And a lot of the times they'll be like, really, I didn't know that. Um, I wasn't sure. So um, sometimes you can just, you know, convince them to switch over, but sometimes you can't. And that's something that you're going to have to get used to. Okay? Sometimes you're going to have to get used to it. You're going to get told no, even if you can legitimately help them, even if it's the same insurance company, even if it's a cheaper plan. Sometimes they're still going to tell you no. And that's okay. Because for every person who tells you no, there's 10 more that are going to tell you yes. Right? So just keep that in mind. Don't take it personally if you can't help somebody. I don't know how many times I've been hung up on with someone who I was literally going to change their life. So that's okay. Get used to it. We're going to talk about that later in the week, mindset training. But as far as picking plans and benefits, I'd say for Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans, MAPD and MA plans, we've about covered everything there is to cover. We talked about dental, vision, hearing, over the counter, transportation, fitness, um, and we also looked at how to quickly compare plans and pick the one to present. There's just two things you can look at, right? Because if you looked at the summary of benefits for every single one of these plans and looked at everything, hospital, everything, it would take you literally 45 minutes to go through all of these plans. I mean, there's 26 plans, right? 26 results. There's no way that you're doing this with them on the phone. I promise you, they're going to hang up on you. Promise you. Or they're going to ask to reschedule. They're not going to sit on the phone with you for 30 to 45 minutes while you look through all these plans. So just don't. Find the one with the lowest medical max and lowest specialist copay. Everything else reflects around it, right? The inpatient hospital, the surgery cost, urgent care, emergency care, it all reflects around these two numbers. These two numbers go down, so does everything else. Okay? That's how these plans work. They're not going to have a super low specialist copay and then an insane hospital copay. Never. Promise you. 99.999% of the time, you can trust these two things right here. Okay? They will not fail you. So instead of looking through 26 plans, all you have to do is scroll. I'm looking at only specialist copay. Again, this is the first. This one sticks out immediately. $15 specialist. I look through the rest. Nothing's cheaper. Okay, I'm going back to this one. Now I would just do a quick glance of the plan, look at everything else. Okay, there's a medical deductible. Okay, yeah, max out of pocket super low. Inpatient hospital about average. Everything else looks good. Surgery is reasonable. Emergency care and urgent care, they look right on par. Preventative care looks good because it's free. Preventative care is always free. You can look at maybe some diagnostics. Look at the dental. Okay, dental looks okay. Look at the vision. Vision looks okay. If you notice on this plan though, for the dental, because it's a PPO, there's in-network and out-of-network. So what this means is they could go to any dentist they wanted, even if they do not take Humana, and Humana will pay the same as if they were in-network, which is very nice. I love when the plans do this. And notice it's not for medical. It's not medical they can do this. It's only dental. Okay? Out-of-pocket dental. They can go anywhere they want, which is a super, super convenient benefit, and that will absolutely help you close it more um, with some of these plans with dental when they want dental and they're asking you for dental is being able to go to any dentist. They'll really enjoy that. That'd be a big selling point of this plan. Um, so yeah, very, very solid plan here. This plan is a very, very solid plan for this area. This is the one I'd recommend. And honestly, you guys can just, whenever you get Sunfire access, just look up different zip codes, look through the plans, and pick one out, right? Get used to looking at the plans and picking the cheapest one. Just practice it. Get good at it. Get used to it. Okay. Um, it's what you're going to learn. You're going to have to learn how to navigate Sunfire. And truthfully speaking, I don't have the time to set and pick your guys' plans out. I just don't. So I'm relying on you guys, and it's part of being an agent to be able to pick the plan efficiently, effectively, and not present trash plans. Because if you do present trash plans and you're not actually looking for the best one, they're going to cancel it. Promise you. It may not be within the chargeback window, but that's not going to be a renewal. Promise you. 99% of the time, they're going to switch to a different company at the end of the year. Okay, so we want to do the best plan so that we can let them know, hey, this is the richest plan. It's got the lowest copays. This is the one to go with here. So that if somebody else calls them a month later and tries to sell them something else, they know, hey, the plan I've got has the lowest medical cost. Okay, these people are loyal. Medicare people are very loyal to their agents and they're very loyal to their plans. But if we put them in a trash plan, they're not going to be loyal because they're not going to want it anymore. So again, for this particular zip code, if it's anything other than money, I'm offering that Humana plan. If they just want money, I'm doing this devoted plan 100% of the time. Okay. Um, that's kind of it though for the training today. There isn't anything else I really want to cover with you guys. We're going to learn more benefits tomorrow when we talk about dual special needs plans and chronic special needs plans, which are Medicaid plans and chronic plans. We're gonna learn about those tomorrow. Um, does anyone have any particular questions about these MAPD plans or MA plans or any of the benefits, dental vision hearing, anything like that? While you guys have me. It's okay if not. If there are no questions, you guys are more than welcome to leave. If no one has questions, you guys are free to go. I appreciate your